Colorado quarterback phenom Shedeur Sanders secures groundbreaking Nike endorsement deal, eclipsing rival Dillon Gabriel's stalled Adidas negotiations. Exclusive intel reveals the agreement surpasses $28 million annually, with performance-based escalators potentially catapulting the total value past the $40 million mark. This isn't just another rookie brand alignment. This is a paradigm-shifting power move. It transcends the realm of standard athletic endorsements, sending seismic waves across the sports marketing world for those closely tracking the evolution of endorsement dynamics. Sources confirm the pact was finalized last night after an intense 3-week negotiation blitz. According to individuals with direct knowledge, the pivotal moment occurred during an elaborate pitch at Nike's global HQ in Oregon, where Sanders reportedly captivated senior executives with a holistic brand vision that extended well beyond gridiron performance. Nike's team unveiled a multi-platform strategy that capitalizes on Shedeur's massive digital footprint, documentary partnerships, and family legacy, forming a marketing ecosystem never before seen for a college athlete entering the pro ranks. Meanwhile, Gabriel, who had been in advanced discussions with Adidas, was allegedly informed of Sanders' Nike coup just minutes before the official industry reveal. Adidas execs responded by immediately suspending talks, convening an emergency strategic overhaul session. Their delayed and eerily silent reaction stunned insiders after months of aggressive pursuit. Make no mistake, this wasn't a rash decision. According to industry veterans, this was the culmination of a months-long brand recalibration sparked when Sanders' electrifying Colorado performances began dominating social media and shattering traditional collegiate visibility metrics. Gabriel, despite posting superior statistical output, has found himself overshadowed by Sanders' cultural relevance and viral resonance. The Oklahoma transfer anticipated a conventional endorsement trajectory, measured, performance-backed, and gradual. Instead, he witnessed the market pivot dramatically toward a player with less production but exponentially more presence. Gabriel still possesses top-tier intangibles, professionalism, charisma, market appeal, but yesterday represented a fundamental shift in endorsement valuation. This is about visibility over volume, brand narrative over box scores. Let's unpack the ripple effect. This moment is more disruptive and consequential than widely perceived. Industry sources report that brands across the board are scrambling to reassess their quarterback endorsement strategies. Under Armour is allegedly reallocating its resources toward proven NFL veterans, abandoning the pursuit of breakout prospects. Reebok is reportedly exiting the QB space entirely, pivoting to basketball and lifestyle branding. Meanwhile, New Balance is doubling down on Gabriel, crafting a performance-first campaign devoid of pop culture glamour. This level of response from an entire industry triggered by a single endorsement deal signals a tectonic shift in how sportswear giants intend to compete. At the corporate strategy level, this deal draws a stark contrast in branding philosophies. Nike is betting big on cultural immersion, lifestyle integration, and the emotional magnetism of personality. Adidas, by contrast, has long championed technical excellence, performance authenticity, and merit-based representation. The Sanders agreement becomes the new litmus test. Which approach truly captivates the next generation of consumers? Behind the scenes, emotions are boiling over. Adidas's North American president is reportedly livid, blaming internal teams for undervaluing Sanders. On the flip side, Nike executives are celebrating what they're calling an era-defining acquisition. Yet some insiders whisper concerns about the pressure to deliver without a single professional snap on record. Nike's design division is said to be fast-tracking Sanders' signature product line, reallocating unprecedented resources to support a marketing timeline that's being constructed on potential rather than production. Their underlying message? Cultural gravity now outweighs traditional metrics of athletic success. This isn't just an endorsement, this is strategic positioning, in an industry mid-metamorphosis. It marks a turning point not only for Sanders, but for how the entire sports marketing ecosystem quantifies value. Insiders familiar with Nike's internal calculus say the brand was tired of losing dominance in football while maintaining its iron grip on basketball. Fragmented QB endorsements had diluted their impact. Now they're going all in, gambling their football footprint on one generational figure who might redefine athlete branding altogether. And yet, behind the scenes, even Nike's internal marketing voices have quietly raised concerns. The investment is staggering. Let's confront the reality of on-field performance, because market appeal becomes unsustainable without a solid foundation of athletic credibility. Both quarterbacks have demonstrated elite potential throughout their collegiate tenures. Gabriel's statistical consistency, refined mechanics, and impressive durability metrics stand out. His ability to thrive in multiple systems underscores his adaptability, a trait highly prized by scouts and marketers alike. Perhaps most importantly, his stylistic uniformity enables a clear, focused branding narrative centered on reliability, precision, and technical mastery. This isn't shallow hype, it's tangible, data-backed quarterback excellence. Shedeur Sanders, though not matching Gabriel's cumulative production, commands attention in different ways. His mechanics are distinctive, and his capacity for explosive, highlight-worthy plays has made him a magnet for viral moments throughout his college career. While his consistency can waver statistically, his flair for improvisation generates content effortlessly tailored for modern platforms. Initially cautious about the scale of the deal, Nike's marketing division reportedly became convinced after conducting a thorough social media impact study. They won't voice it publicly, but internal communications suggest massive expectations are now tied to Sanders' performance. Both quarterbacks are undeniably marketable, which makes Adidas' silence all the more conspicuous. Beyond the numbers and endorsement sheets lies a deeper psychological and strategic divergence. Gabriel represents the traditional model, a calculated, methodical trajectory marked by 4 years of steady development, strategic transfers, and expanding exposure. His media presence reflects more than typical athlete poise. Executives are said to be impressed by his articulation, consistency, and polished delivery. By contrast, Sanders embodies the modern evolution of athlete marketing. As the son of Hall of Famer Dillon Sanders, he brings not only legacy appeal, but also a self-made media machine. Production teams, content channels, and dominance across digital platforms. He enters the professional arena not merely as a prospect, but as a pre-built media empire. Some sources claim his confidence occasionally teeters into perceived entitlement, but even critics concede his branding sophistication is unmatched. Unlike many peers who struggle to express their vision, Sanders has executed consistent, high-quality content creation while juggling athletic obligations, maintaining exceptional engagement metrics despite limited in-game exposure. That marketing intuition is what distinguishes fleeting hype from sustainable commercial power. Their contrasting personalities further deepen the marketing intrigue. Gabriel may not possess Sanders' celebrity spotlight, but his genuine demeanor, consistent messaging, and relatable story create a compelling emotional connection with fans, particularly among conservative brands seeking low-risk, high-character partnerships. Sanders, meanwhile, is all spectacle. His family legacy, polished digital production, and effortless charisma draw massive attention. His brand transforms basic endorsements into content-generating ecosystems. These multimedia layers force corporations to rethink valuation models, choosing to back unproven professionals on the strength of cultural magnetism over established performance. Perhaps the most striking differentiator: viral reach. Analysts note Sanders often produces more impressions from a single post than Gabriel can muster from an entire multi-platform campaign. That discrepancy alone explains Nike's decision to place such a bold bet despite the lack of NFL snaps. But don't assume this sets a precedent without consequence. The pressure across the sportswear industry is now monumental. Every campaign faces intense scrutiny, every dollar measured for ROI. This is the cost of category disruption. And yet, Sanders appears unbothered. He wears the expectations like a second skin, driven by a desire to justify Nike's faith amidst mounting skepticism. Behind every doubt, every whisper about his unearned deal, he stores the criticism, fuel for future dominance. Gabriel's supporters argue he's facing a stacked deck. A consistent, coachable performer now finds himself competing against a media force of nature whose brand equity outweighs box scores. Despite following every PR directive, cultural preference has seemingly dictated the outcome. Adidas's silence may not be surrender, but strategic retreat. Industry chatter hints they are temporarily shelving Gabriel to reassess long-term quarterback endorsement philosophy. Some insiders report that his team is now exploring direct-to-consumer brand partnerships, leveraging his strong collegiate base to forge new marketing models outside the traditional system. This moment signifies merely the initial tremor in a broader marketing revolution within the athletic apparel sector. Nike's earth-shaking announcement didn't just destabilize the competitive landscape, it dismantled Adidas's entire quarterback endorsement framework across its North American division. Long-standing evaluation protocols were discarded, internal marketing authority was undermined, investment strategies were compromised, interdepartmental communication became fractured and reactionary. Why? Because this went far beyond a traditional sponsorship deal. It symbolized a strategic overhaul from performance-driven branding to personality-centric consumer engagement. And through it all, Sanders remained unshaken, maintaining elite content output amid rising scrutiny. As if the crushing weight of industry expectation were inconsequential, the young quarterback doesn't merely absorb the spotlight, he weaponizes it. But this goes deeper than Sanders. It forces a reckoning across the industry, a confrontation with long-ignored philosophical divisions. Nike's gamble exposes a rift that has silently widened for years: performance metrics versus cultural resonance. Adidas has long represented the orthodox school of sports marketing, where athletic accolades dictate financial commitment, campaign scale, and brand longevity. In contrast, Nike has spearheaded the shift toward cultural capital, personality elevation, and omni-channel content integration, breaking free from the dependency on traditional athletic benchmarks. More provocative still is the athlete response. Veterans well-versed in the endorsement ecosystem, savvy to the patterns, sensitive to the tides, are reportedly sounding alarms. They've witnessed gradual changes in valuation models, but Sanders' deal is a shock to the system. Several professional quarterbacks have allegedly confided, this redefines market value without the merit of on-field production. One seasoned marketing executive is quoted as saying, both quarterbacks warrant partnerships that reflect their achievements, not just their media momentum. When you break the link between performance and payoff, you endanger the credibility that sustains entire categories. That credibility, built on performance correlation, is the invisible scaffolding supporting long-term partnerships. Without it, campaigns risk collapsing under their own hype. Nike now teeters on that edge. Outside the company's walls, a media firestorm rages. Financial analysts dissect the valuation. Marketing thought leaders publish clashing takes. Former insiders offer speculative commentary. Every Sanders appearance draws outsized attention. Online forums overflow with investor theories. Content creators break down quarterly projections. What began as a marketing play has snowballed into a financial flashpoint. One viral endorsement cycle can shift institutional portfolios overnight. This has spiraled well beyond sportswear. It now carries macroeconomic weight. With increased visibility comes immense pressure, and many in pro football circles dislike what they see. An industry once governed by performance now veering toward entertainment optics. It disrupts decades of established valuation norms and sets a potentially unsustainable precedent. Corporate stakeholders are watching with surgical intensity, attempting to balance visionary ambition with shareholder accountability. Nike's C-suite now carries the burden of an unprecedented investment, chasing cultural dominance while maintaining market confidence. And then there's the prime effect. Coach Dillon Sanders has reportedly maintained behind-the-scenes involvement since the deal's finalization. Though his specific contributions remain unclear, his long-standing Nike affiliation and paternal influence over Shedeur have fueled further speculation. Some insiders are questioning whether Gabriel received a fair competitive assessment during the process, adding another layer to an already complex narrative. The implications of familial ties, collegiate fame, and endorsement prioritization are being debated at the highest levels of industry leadership. Now let's examine three possible outcomes. Scenario 1. Sanders excels in the NFL, justifying the investment with elite performance while sustaining cultural cachet. Nike wins big. Scenario 2. Sanders struggles. Nike pivots, emphasizing lifestyle branding and influencer campaigns to minimize the on-field letdown. Scenario 3. Gabriel signs elsewhere, outperforms Sanders, and creates a powerful redemption arc for a rival brand, one that costs less and delivers more. None of these paths are predictable. The true question remains, can Nike extract ROI from a quarterback who's yet to throw a pro touchdown? The clock is ticking. The season looms. Campaign activations are already underway. Everyone's talking, and not just casually. The buzz is deafening, and this guy isn't settling for checkdowns. They say he's launching 20-yard missiles across the middle on deep dig routes. So no, it's not about whether he can process defenses. It's how instinctively he reacts once the ball is snapped. A wildfire rumor is blazing across the NFL, and its origin, Cleveland. At first, it sounded ridiculous. A fifth-round rookie taking command of the Browns quarterback room, clickbait, fiction. But those murmurs, they're turning into a roar. Something unexplainable is unfolding at Brown's camp, and everyone close to the situation agrees on one reality. Shedeur Sanders isn't just flashing promise, he's seizing control. Sure, maybe it doesn't mean everything just yet, but Shedeur has been outstanding, not just on the field, but in the meeting rooms too. Coaches are smiling, veterans are watching, and according to one source, he's already cracked the room, stone-faced veterans with his charm, poise, and intelligence. This wasn't part of the script. Sanders entered the league with tempered expectations. Fifth rounders aren't supposed to climb the depth chart overnight, especially not with veterans like Kenny Pickett, Joe Flacco, and Dillon Gabriel standing in the way. But here we are. Multiple sources say the original plan, it's collapsing fast. Coaches are recalibrating, teammates are whispering, and the front office, they might be frantically trying to stuff the toothpaste back in the tube because Shedeur Sanders is making an undeniable push for QB1. He's disciplined, smart, always upbeat, always smiling, one insider said. You want to be around a guy like that. You want to work with him. And here's the real game changer. It's not just his arm talent, it's his mind. The same traits scouts raved about in the pre-draft process, they're showing up in full force. But it's the intangibles, the mental mastery, the cool under pressure that are fast-tracking his rise. One coach put it plainly, his mental tools, they'll get him on the field faster than anything else. The turning point, a high-octane mini-camp drill, full speed, move the ball. The kind of drill where every rep counts and rookies usually stand back and watch. But not this time. Shedeur stepped in ahead of Dillon Gabriel, unannounced. No fanfare, just quiet confidence. He took the huddle like a 10-year vet. And then he lit it up. He wasn't checking down. He wasn't easing into the moment. He was ripping strikes, 20-yard lasers across the middle, threading tight windows, commanding the offense like he owned it. An observer called it for what it was. This wasn't luck. This was a statement. Let's talk numbers. Sanders completed 74% of his passes last season at Colorado, over 71% for his career, and that's with over 90 sacks in just 2 years. He was under constant duress and still looked like a surgeon. Now he's behind an NFL offensive line, surrounded by pro-level weapons, and according to leaked camp footage, he's dismantling defenses. Every clip shows the same story: completions, big ones, crisp ones, middle of the field bullets, sideline fades, red zone darts. And inside the organization, the thing really blowing minds isn't just the throws, it's how Shedeur processes the game. One coach said he sees it on the whiteboard, walks through it once, then executes it in live reps like he's been running it for 5 years. That kind of cerebral sharpness is unheard of, especially for a day 3 draft pick. The mental acceleration, the ability to transfer information to execution without hesitation, that's championship DNA. By all accounts, he's already been one of the most polished, composed day 3 rookies evaluators can remember. Now, the real question becomes, can he not only make the roster, but command reps during training camp and eventually win the job? It's a tall order, but it's not impossible because this quarterback room, it's wide open. There's no Matthew Stafford, no Jared Goff, no cemented franchise QB. If it comes down to pure skill, Shedeur might already have the edge. And if you think this is media hype, think again. This is real. This is happening. And if Kenny Pickett starts week 1, it might say more about Kevin Stefanski's job security than it does about talent. Because from where we're standing, Shedeur Sanders might be the best quarterback on that roster. There's growing chatter that Kevin Stefanski feels the pressure, real pressure, the kind that comes when your job is on the line, and sources close to the Browns believe it's already shaping his decisions. If he starts Shedeur Sanders, it signals one thing. He's been granted some grace, a little breathing room to develop a young, dynamic talent. But if he rolls with Kenny Pickett, that screams urgency. It means win now or pack your bags. I've been told for weeks by someone deep inside the building that the week 1 starter would be either Kenny Pickett or Dillon Gabriel.